People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. As you lot know by now, Fridays equals Q&A days. It's an opportunity for me to give back to you guys who support me financially, who support me with the votes, who support me, you know, just positive encouragement and just following my stuff religiously. It really means a lot, people. There's not a lot of us, but the way you lot mess with me, it's ridiculous, people. It really warms my heart, and especially, you know, in my own country of England, that's one thing, but I'm getting love. You know, I'm always gonna get love in Jamaica and Barbados. That's my countries. So yeah, I'm always gonna get love there. But you know, all different countries in Africa, you know, America, many different states, you know, Asia. See a guy from Saudi Arabia. I always say Serbia because Serbia sticks out, because I was like, right, I didn't get up to Serbia. So it means a lot, people. First and foremost, so like I said, thank you. Second of all, thank you for your questions, because I'm never going to be a weirdo and make up a bag of questions. And thank you thirdly to people who listen, that stay attentive to the communities tab, that stick to the deadline, that listen to where I direct them, sort of thing, people. It really means a lot that you lot listen. So let's crack on. We're wasting time. Let's crack on with the YouTube tab questions. Zaka said, bless King, off the back of watching Alphonso Davies utilise his speed so well in the last couple Bayern Munich games, can you name any young prospect speed merchants which aren't hitting the headlines? Not off the top of my head, bro. Pace is something I haven't really... Nah, not off the top of my head. Not guys that I feel... I could name people I think are quick, but not devastatingly quick like that. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and think about that. You put me on the spot, and potentially I should have done some homework on that. Sorry to disappoint you, bro. And I believe you donated as well, so thank you very much for your donation. I think I saw that today. It means a lot, my guy. Please stay safe. DS Bosses said, what do you think of the signing of George Lewis? I hear people say it's an unambitious signing and that the only reason we signed him was because he was born in Rwanda, which we are sponsored by. Maybe there's sponsorship rights behind it, but you know, I think we need players at under 23s level. So if the scouts have done their job and think he can contribute at that level for what we're trying to do, cool. But beyond that, it's down to him. If he wants to develop a player at Arsenal, he needs to show that. But yeah, man, I just think it was a shrewd addition, at least at fan base value for the 23. So I don't think it's something to cry about, really. And obviously fans are going to be frustrated because of where Arsenal are, what other teams are doing, like Chelsea just signed Ziyech and Werner, basically. What are we doing? You get it? So there's always that sort of stuff. Faris has said, with the whole Brexit thing, do you think Arsenal didn't capitalise on getting European young players for the academy since this is the last year they can do so? Maybe, but I think it's more so... I don't know, I think, you know, and it's a bit, we have to take responsibility, but you look at, and we've lost homegrown talents, we've lost Josh De Silva and Amici and Armstrong Okaflex and Ovi, who went to Liverpool and I believe at Reading at the moment on loan. I could be wrong. I just think we've, Chris Willock as well, I just think we just had enough, really. Like we've, and some of it was our fault for not giving opportunities, but to see Daniel Marlon, Gnabry, Benassia, Dragomir, bag of players just leave, I think we just said, you know what, we're going to put our hands on these English lads. And I do think they've genuinely said, you know, we're going to put our hand on these English players. They might not be as good, but we're going to just rely on the fact that there's more of an affiliation here and stuff like that. So I think that's probably it. 90G has said, yo, bro, which has been your favourite interview to do so far? Not really a favourite, man. I think they've all been good in many different ways. I was just about to... I've actually got two that haven't been released, and I'm just waiting for the red tape, man. And I see you lot talking about these players all the time, and I'm like, well, I've got a lot of it. A lot of ones, like, a lot. I'll tell you what. Let me not talk too tough. Let me not say their names, but... Definitely 7 good ones for you guys, but you know, we're just waiting for the red tape to clear. We're waiting for the forces at B to allow man to just, you know, bring them out, because they're actually done time ago. A certain I don't want to talk too tough, but a certain player as well, like, it's a madness. But out of the ones that you have seen, I enjoyed them all, really. I enjoyed Charlie Patino's one. I enjoyed Sam Greenwood. I enjoyed Tariq probably, because that's like my guy from before he even became Chelsea and that. I enjoyed all of them, man. They all have their own different things that I took from it, and it was just an interesting one to learn about these players and things differently and see how, because from speaking with a couple of them, like a couple of the Arsenal ones, I can see how, you know, how I might say one, if I was a coach, I might say one thing to you and you'll get it, but I might have to change my communication to how I deal with you. And it was nice to see that how they are off the field. And I'd say actually when the video stops, like just speaking with them, picking their brains, finding out certain things, it was really an eye-opener. So I'd say all of them for their own different reasons. And I say all of them because, you know, I've DM'd hundreds of ballers at all levels, and these are the guys that I've literally just replied. Like, so shout out to them for just being nice, really and truly. Sonny's asked, is this the real Sonny? I think it is the real one. Yeah, you need to stop changing your Twitter, my guy, man. Every day you got to do Twitter account. But you've asked me, who's the best goal scorer and players out of Kane, Aguero and Aubameyang? Overall player, I'm going to go with Aguero. Better goal scorer, tough one, because my bias is going to lead me to Aubameyang. I might be an Arsenal fan, but I think Aubameyang lives and breathes goals and is very instinctive. I think Harry Kane does the same as well. He's very, I think they're completely different but similar in the way that they live and breathe goals and stuff like that. I'd probably have to say Sergio for both player and goal scorer, purely because, no disrespect to Kane and Aubameyang, they've got fantastic records, but you know, Aubameyang, going back maybe 5 years isn't the best, but Aubameyang, you lot know, Aubameyang wasn't always this, like, he was a good player, but he weren't always this. He was at Saint Etienne, Dijon, Monaco, AC Milan. He didn't have the standing he did in football like this until, for me anyways, until he went Dortmund. Kane's been around for a while, and he's not a bad player, and he's doing his thing at Spurs, but almost the same sort of logic. It took a while. Sergio, from a teenager, has been a gunman, really and truly, so I'm going to give it to Sergio without a doubt. I think he's the best player and the best goal scorer out of them. If you had to push me, my guy. So love for that question. Liam Baker has said, salutations, my general. Big up yourself. It's been great watching your channel grow and seeing you become more comfortable in front of the camera. You're doing big things, and even bigger and better things are coming your way. Thanks for that, my guy. It means a lot. I'm not too sure I share that with you, but it means a lot. I do find it weird that you lot say I'm more comfortable with in front of the camera, because I get it, but I still think I'm the same, really. I still find it a bit weird, but, you know, I can't go against that. You lot are watching the development, so I can only speak on what you lot see. But you said, what do you think, butchered it. Why do you think, I think you meant, what do you think about instilling a hard salary cap for the EPL like they have in the NBA here in America? It would go a long way towards creating parity in the league, and I think it would force teams to rely on their academies even more. Poorer clubs would no longer be at the mercy of the wealthier ones, and I think a reliance on money would give way to a reliance on football ability. I think as well as a cap, there should be a floor as well as teams have to spend 100 million every 3 years. I think it all sounds good in principle, but I don't necessarily think it's fair, because, you know, not everybody can spend the same. You know, it brings in debate. What if someone like Newcastle wants to get new owners and then put their team on a level playing field to the top 6? You know, it will probably take 1,000 years, where they should be allowed to buy players. I definitely share with you, it would be lovely if there's a level playing ground, if people promoted young academy players and developing a bit more. And I do think, you know, a salary cap does have a lot of great merits and stuff. I do think at the same time, I know football is not the same as mine or your job, but I do think it's a bit, it rubs me up the wrong way to hear salary cap, because I wouldn't like my earnings to be capped. And also, I think Wenger spoke about it. Yes, there's salary caps, but in the same team, you can have a man on 5 million a year and one on 50 grand a year. Obviously, ability and things plays a part, same way it does in football. Many people will laugh at Mesut Ozil, but Mesut Ozil is on 300 bags because he's been a great player. You know, Joe Willock isn't going to be on that anytime soon because he's a young player at a different stage. Do you get it, my guy? So I don't really think that should be the case, and you still have salary cap disparities, and these teams will still find a way to manipulate it, really and truly. But I do think potentially there is something that could be done, and I can't disagree with anything you've said. But a salary cap, I don't feel is necessarily. While I agree with you, I don't necessarily believe in real time or in practicality is the best thing. You'd probably have to ask someone that watches rugby and things for a more informed opinion, or I'll have to do research in that regards. Yeah. Marley said, could you do a comparison stream on all the new and upcoming managers or coaches in the Premier League? Well, what new and upcoming managers are there in the Premier League, my guy? They're the same managers that were there at the moment. So I don't think it's literally possible. Josh Mehmet has said, Would you ever consider doing a career mode or football manager save with Arsenal? Yeah, I've been asking you, like, I've been looking online. How do you do this live stream stuff on football manager? I can't lie, I've got a MacBook Pro, but I don't think it's the best for streaming, so it might be a bit laggy, but I'll run it if I can. But I need to know how you pattern it. That's a good one. Ryan has said best Kendrick Lamar album. Good one, you know. What's the one? Is it Good Kid, Mad City, or whatever it is? I could be wrong on that. But that one there brings me a lot of joy to listen to and stuff. But, you know, I'll probably change my mind if I go back and research. In fact, let's type in Kendrick Lamar now and see what I've got. Kendrick Lamar. Let's see. Show me his albums, man. I can't remember all of them. I'm not gonna lie. I don't listen to him as much as I used to. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you guys. I knew it. I was going to say To Pimp a Butterfly, but I kind of bottled it. So I'll go. Nah, To Pimp a Butterfly first. Good Kid, Mad City. Section 80 was good. Section 80 was good. I thought Damn was okay. I think it was okay. It had some bangers, but I think it was okay. I think the others' body of work was much stronger, like collectively. But music is subjective. You know, you could think I'm chatting West, which you probably do. But moving forward, love for your question. Matilda said, "Do you believe 5G is facilitating COVID?" Well, at a sensitive time like this, I don't know. I don't know. I'm someone who talks about football. I don't know about the causes of 5G, the health benefit, the health causes that happens with 5G. Same for COVID. I'm just a football man. I don't know, my guy. I don't know. Faris said, "What do you think about the leaked kits for Arsenal next season? I like the dark blue third kit a lot. So do I. If they are the kits, you know, I'm gonna get all three anyways. But you know, just take my money now, Arsenal." D Solo has said, "You've offered some lovely praise, man. Big up yourself. Thank you very much, man." You've asked me, out of our signings and academy players that came through last season, who do you think did the best? What I say is they picked themselves, man. Like, new signings, I believe Martinelli. Like, you know, nobody really had expectations on him, and you know, I'm not gonna say he's PFA Young Player of the Year and stuff like that, but he's been a revelation, and he's a player I've fallen in love with, really. Don't wanna, you know, I think we shouldn't hype him, but I just think the only player that's not better than him is Lionel Messi. No, I'm joking, but yeah, I think Martinelli's been a sick player, and academy players is, you know, shout out to all the young players and stuff, but it's Saka up here and the rest are down there in the most nicest way possible. Like, Saka's progress is Saka. It's not even a question, my guys. So love for that. Antonio said, "Which season in the Emirates era have you enjoyed the most?" Difficult one, you know. Difficult one. I don't think I've necessarily enjoyed a season. I wouldn't say I've necessarily enjoyed, but there's been some joyful moments. Like, obviously, when we bottled the league to Leicester. I'm sure there was a couple of times when we had Van Persie that we was close to winning the league. Or I say close, probably not. So probably them. I don't think there's been, I wouldn't say enjoyable. Maybe, you know what, if I had to re-pushed it, 2015 and 2014, because we, you know, 14 we ended it with silverware, 15 we retained the FA Cup and things like that. So I'd say them, or any season, any season that we've got top four, man, because it's a myth. But I wouldn't say I enjoyed like that. Wayne has said, "Yo, DG, hope you're doing good. Thank you, my guy. Say we get back into the top four this season or next, where do you think we actually go from there? Because in my opinion, from 2007, we've just been content on top four. Do you think we can go on to win titles, or is that asking too much for Arteta?" Well, I share your frustration, but I mean, you know, and I know Wenger at the time, it sounded a bit tone deaf, but top four is like a trophy. I think for right now, we've got to focus on being a consistent team. 38 games, we've got to be consistent. There has to be, and Arteta has to say, you know what, 38 games, I don't want to lose more than this. I don't want to draw more than this. I want to win this. Do you get it? I want to win this amount of games. And we're able to follow through with that. Similar to top four, we're able to say in the same way that it's an assurance, more or less, that we can, anything can happen in football. But I'm pretty sure next season, if we're doing our all top four now, we're saying Liverpool and City. We were saying it last year. We were saying it the year before, yeah? we need to get back to that. Like, we need to get back to that, knowing and having true belief in our team and stuff to get it. So we need to go back to getting top 4, being consistent. Of course, I want to win Premier League titles and Champions League and all of these things, my guy. But to be fair, a lot of that is out of Arteta's hands. Of course, hopefully, if the team could do this Mighty Ducks thing where we're playing well and, you know, we do this Leicester thing and we win the league, that's great. We'll gas it up. But to be a consistent league contender, to be there like with City and Liverpool, it needs to come from the people above Arteta. They need to go out and bring marquee signings. They need to go out and start righting the wrongs we've done. So it goes out of Arteta's hands, my guy. So I don't know until I see. But I'd say for us, we've got to focus on top 4 first and foremost and qualifying for that consistently. So yeah, man, good questions coming in. Ed Newtua, forgive me for mispronunciations. You've said, what is the best Gregory Isaacs song in your opinion? Keep up the great work. Subscriber from West Africa. Thank you very much. And I would say Babylon Too Tough. And what's the other one? It's not if I can't. It's not. Is it I Can't Have You? Or I Don't Have You? It's one of them songs there. Gregory Isaacs. Let me YouTube that quick. Obviously, Night Nurse is a banger. Yeah, that's what I meant. If I Don't Have You, that's one of my songs. So I'd say that. Moving away from that though. One has said, what do you think is the best way to force change to happen at the club? What should fans do to ensure Kroenke continues to spend money? I say continues because he actually spent some last season. The only way Kroenke's hands is going to be forced is seats, not on bums. And with Arteta, it's not criticism, but with Arteta and things, we've now got some sort of hope, at least at that level, not beyond him. But Arteta gives us something to return to the Emirates. The only time there was a push is when these guys will only vote. He'll only vote with his money when he sees certain things happening. And I don't want that to happen because Arteta doesn't deserve that. So I'd say that's the only thing. But proper boycotts, that's the only thing it could happen. Or really force him out. But I don't know. He's here to stay. His family are going to be here for a number of years. Arsenal's going to be a family heirloom for not just his son, but his son's sons. And I think we're here to stay with all of this. I hope to be wrong, but how can I be optimistic with a man that truly doesn't want to win the league, people? You've also said, ooh, that's a good question. You said, what do you think is the most effective way for people to bring about change in terms of stopping police brutality? First of all, the courage to stand up. I can't blame it, but to really make change, a lot of people are scared to lose their jobs, celebrities as well. And I get it. We're all scared. We need money, but getting over that fear of being crucified in the public, being demonized, losing your job, losing any sponsorships for a fight for a bigger cause. Courage to stand up. Courage from all of us to be brave. I'm talking about all the people them. Also, people that sit on the fence, they're just as bad. So people that sitting on the fence, pick a side. Also, within really making a change, we'd have to look at our own. Forgive me for my language, but you don't know what coon is. Coons need to be eradicated, pardon my language, because they're just as bad as absolute racists. But it's just having enough, not listening to their language. You know, when they say black on black crime, yes, there is crime where a black man might rob or do something to a black man. But when Alfie robs Mitchell, it's not white on white crime. So why is that? These are the things these are the ways they twang you and stuff. And that, you know what? Do you know why that black on black crime is dangerous? Because it's the same thing they say about slavery. Well, black people were enslaving themselves. That might be right, but you see how they try to use it to justify that. You know, we were almost savages, so they're saving us, or you know, we were going to kill ourselves already. So it's a lesser of the two evils. It's really unlearning these things. And I'd say we do love ourselves, but in Western society, we're taught not to love ourselves. We're taught not to love the natural tenacity in us. When as black men, we don't tolerate stuff. We're ready to stand up as well, especially us Jamaican ones. We're ready to stand up for what's right. The women as well, both demonized. If you don't speak, you're called antisocial. If you talk up the things, you're this and that. We're told things about our hair, the way we walk, the way we vibes. They love our rhythm, but not our blues, as someone famously once said. It's about overcoming this sort of thing, and until this happens, it is what it is. The police, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think the police system will ever change because I believe it's working in the way it's supposed to work. It's not there to protect. It's there to protect certain others. It's there to police and actually kill black men, really and truly. Let me look at that because that's what they're doing, like really and truly. And on top of that, you've said you speak really well when it comes to football, but you go on political rants in odd times. It's powerful. Do you think about creating a channel for more discussing issues? for more discussing these issues, sorry, I like the mix of both. That's not something I planned about. I don't really want to do up the political thing. I just have my opinions. It's something I'd explore, I guess, because it is important to speak. And I don't speak for people to praise me. And like you said, no disrespect, but you've bigged up the way I look at stuff. I've been taught in my life to stand up for what's right because of the way I've been brought up. I've had to stand up for myself. My parents have always told me to respect people, but always stand up for yourself, stand up for what's right, and seeing it in society. And I do believe, I always get the urge to make especially the racism ones and speaking about these things. You see that there's a difference in my tone, because I believe it calls me in here to speak about that, because I don't believe in silencing. I sound like a hypocrite. I'm no influencer. I'm no like celeb and things like that. But I look at them and I don't believe people should speak for the sake of speaking or speak if they don't feel they should. But I look at them and I'm like, yo, you lot always here to speak about nonsense. Why are you not shedding light on other things? And I've always felt it should be. So I'll be a hypocrite not doing that in my own sort of way. Do you get it, my guy? So yeah, man, I bring that one up. 100 Gooner has said, what does self-esteem mean to you? Good one. Good one. Self-esteem. It means recognizing you're not perfect, but loving yourself. Recognizing that you can do it, and the only one that can stop you is you. Silencing that voice in your head, because it happens all the time. I used to tell myself, forget this YouTube stuff all the time. Now look at me. I'm not where I want to be, but we've got a decent platform. So I'd say being confident in yourself, being assured in yourself, knowing that you're not perfect, accepting your flaws, accepting that you could always get better, accepting that you're not God. You are God's gifts, but you're not God's gifts. Everybody's God's gift, so you're not really God's gift. So I'd say that, man. Just being prideful in yourself. Not letting yourself be motivated or demotivated or lifted higher or pulled lower on the opinions of others. Of course opinions matter to me. Look at this YouTube stuff. I don't really pay attention to the negative comments, but I see them. I don't really pay attention to the positive comments, because if I do, one day you lot love me, then you hate me. So I need to be assured of myself and not let, according to what's being said, move from side to side. So I'd say that, my guy. Don't worry, it said, would you start Martinelli or Lacazette against City, as I think we need Lacazette's hold-up play? Personally, I would play 5-3-2 with Xhaka and Torreira as DMs and the front three of Laka, Aubameyang and Pepe. There's truth behind it. I do think there's a chance we might go 3/5 at the back, but I actually just want to go Aubameyang, Martinelli and Pepe, really and truly. I see what you mean about hold-up play, but I'd see that as a dynamic and interchanging front three. I don't really want a focal point, because Lacazette at times he's just outnumbered, and when he's outnumbered by these centre halves, it means the wide men of City can stay higher up. It means the fullbacks start going and creating 2v2 situations, where at least if there's a Aubameyang, that fullback, which might be Kyle Walker, I know he backs himself in a foot race, but he might have to think twice. Their left back, they might have to think twice and things like that. I think if Mendy starts, we've got to target Mendy, because I think Mendy's a good player, but I can't lie, I do think he's a bit overrated, and I think the question mark should be over him. So I'd say that. WWE Boss 12, rather funny question. You said, during your whole life in North London, surely you would have befriended and encountered some famous people, e.g. Heady One, Skepta and some footballers. Who's the most famous person you know and have played football with? I wouldn't say I have any of them as friends. Don't really have famous people, but I'd say I've played football with Vashon, that used to be at West Ham. Obviously, actually used to be in my team, Paul Furlong's son, Darnell Furlong, now at West Bromwich Albion. Tariq, obviously, didn't technically play for him, but he played in the same team. Skepta went to my secondary school, and there's actually a video of him giving out all these like Boy Better Know t-shirts and bags and stuff, and I'm in it and things. I can't find it, or I would show it to you. Shout out to the Winchmore Warriors. Elite school, we ran the borough. No one could talk nonsense about that. Not that's anything to be proud of. It's quite nonsense, really. Heady One, I don't know him. I don't know him, but I definitely remember him from when he wasn't necessarily a rapper. He was at certain parties and things were going different ways. I see them in the field, should I say. So I don't have anyone famous and things like that. But, anyone famous that watches me, reach out, man. Bring me to these events, bring me that sponsorship piece and all them things. Grandad Trotter has said, favourite British comedy shows? Desmond's. Good question off the top of my head. 2 pints of lager, packet of crisp. Little Britain, I felt Little Britain was funny. I know in today's day and age, they couldn't do what they was doing. all the bait ones really, it's difficult, man, because I think we've moved on so much, or I've moved on so much from TV to just football content or Netflix and stuff. It's difficult to remember, my dude. So I'd say that, man. I'd say that. The Office. In fact, no, do I like the British Office or the American Office better? The American one is funny, but so the British one. I'm gonna go with The Office. But I'm on the fence as to which one was funny. What's the other one, man? I can't forget his name, bro. What's the one with the Cockney wheeler and dealer, man? You don't know what I'm talking about, man. And he was always selling stuff. And I think last episode he could done his thing, man. It's not Delroy. What's his name? You don't know what I'm talking about. The two East End hustlers, man. Like, and he had his sidekick, and his sidekick was a bit slow. I know you don't know the name I'm thinking of, man. Only Fools and Horses. That's it. Yeah, that one there. So yeah. Samuel Gray has asked me, thank you for your question, Trotter, man. Hope all is well, DG, and good luck on the voting. Make sure you're all voting. Since people throw around the phrase world class, who is your top 10 world class players right now? Difficult one, man. So, world class, yeah. World class. Neymar, Messi, Kylian Mbappe. Ronaldo, Toni Kroos. I think regardless, he's in midfield mastermind. All debates centre mids get into. I'm not going to sit here and name them, but I think Busquets, purely because I'm always going to be biased to these players. Like, I still think they're quality. Kevin, Sergio. Trying to go through every team in my head. Eden Hazard on his day, even though that one will polarize opinion. Mohamed Salah, Mane, Van Dijk at centre half, without a doubt. Ramos isn't necessarily my cup of tea in defence, but him as well. I don't care what no one says. Varane as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, without a doubt. Best right back in the world at the moment by a long distance. I don't think there's many, man. I don't know if I've said 10, but yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. All Black, you've written here, and I'm gonna copy that one there. I'll throw a Bamian in there, but I think he's. A couple of the names I've said, I think they're top players, but for me, world class is Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, really. Yeah, man, I think the world class one gets thrown around a lot, but yeah, Lewandowski, like you put here, how can I forget that? Yeah, man, some good questions there, my Jenna, some good questions, but I'm not too sure. Apologies for mashing up my phone. We now move on to Twitter to ask these questions or get these questions in, which I really should have to tweet, but I've now got to type in Q&A and then search my own stuff. $13 questions. Big up Tom. Thomas said, Abu Dhabi, Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, Eduardo Rosicky. One thing these players have in common, aside from being Arsenal players, is that they suffered injury-ravaged careers. Who had the highest ceiling? I believe that between Abu Dhabi and Jack Wilshere, I believe Jack Wilshere could have been a really quality player. I still think he was, and he still had a good career. At the end of the day, he's played Premier League, he's won FA Cup, he's played for his boyhood clubs in West Ham and Arsenal. He's had a good career, but I think he could have truly been an Arsenal legend, a hallmark in the Premier League, and done his thing. England's a subjective one because we always fail at international level, but I think he truly could have been a baller. Abu Dhabi, you know, same logic. It's a tie between both of them. Diaby could have been a killer. Could have been a top player, box-to-box midfielder with his technical qualities, scoring goals. He had the ability. Sadly, you know, he just was unlucky with injuries. So I'd say them two. I feel Ramsey done quite well, really. I felt Ramsey was a baller. I was one of them that always defended Ramsey when Arsenal fans used to get at him, but I didn't necessarily think Ramsey was going to be like a madman like that. I think he's a great player now, but I didn't. You see, I know, I'm not getting at him, but you know, I think you don't know what I'm on about. Eduardo was a quality player, but I do think Arsenal fans sensationalise him and put him potentially to a ceiling he's not. Rosicky was a baller regardless, but I don't think he would have quite have been there. Live from Planet X, big up yourself. You said apparently Wenger wanted to build a university at Arsenal. What's your thoughts? I think it could have provided a pathway for released players and build Arsenal as an institution. I mean, 100%. I can't really add on to that. That would have been a great idea, really and truly, and something I hope we revisit in the future. You said it yourself, my guy. Probably the easiest question to answer. I would have all been for that, and hopefully there's still some plans, not just for Arsenal, but a couple clubs to do something like that, man. It'll be nice, man, because obviously they do the college thing, but once you become a scholar and you pass that, it's down to you to get the degree and things like that. And I know some men have gone about getting degrees. Duncan Watmore, I believe Isaac Hayden. I could be wrong on him. There's a couple players that have been getting degrees and doing things like that, my dude. So it'd be nice to see, man. It would help with the education and things like that. It'd be lovely if a footballer could do, I don't know, study for a sports science degree while doing their ball thing. Because obviously if it's at Arsenal University, we can work around training schedules and matches and these sort of things. So yeah, that would be lovely, man. Mr. DJ, this guy's been here from the start of this whole YouTube stuff, man. He said, with the global pandemic and the current economic forecast for many clubs, should Arsenal promote young players from within for a year if possible, or go for loan deals while saving money following the season, while concentrating on a league challenge instead of EL/Champions League? We need to focus on the Champions League and getting into the top 4 via the league. So if that's what you're asking me, cool. I don't think we can target genuinely sitting there in August and saying we want to win the Premier League title. If things happen, like Leicester, but we can't because it's unrealistic. We need to target Champions League football. Really target it, and I'm all up for it. I don't have any issue with short-term deals, with signing experienced players, with going for loans and penny pinching, provided there's a method to the madness. But it has looked for years that Arsenal is freestyling half of these things. I would like to see players promoted, but will fans accept that these players need patience? Look at Saka and Martinelli. There's going to be a time where they're playing in bad form and stuff like that, because they're not perfect, but fans are quick to sensationalise players. They go through the honeymoon period and then they criticise them. Nelson went through it, Iwobi went through it, Maitland-Niles went through it, Saka and Martinelli will go through it. Joe actually started differently. He got a lot of hate, now he's getting a lot of love, and then it's back to the hate. But yeah, I would, provided they're ready, I would love to see as many young players promoted to the first team environment. Who wouldn't? Fernand the Jones has said, do the left-footed players have slight edge than right-footed players in terms of curling the ball? From left-footed players, it looks a bit more graceful, to put it in better words. Maybe. Lionel Messi's left-footed, so I agree with you. Maybe there's some truth behind that. I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case, because I mean, Xhaka can hit a ball, but you throw him and Paul Scholes together, Paul Scholes right-footed, so we'd have to see. Renzi said, how good is the Athletic? I'm thinking of getting it soon, but I don't know many who use it. For face value, it's a bit shiny on the wallet, so I really need to know. It's alright, and it's down to you to go and get that one done. Ogbosra said, do you think Mavropanos has the potential to become a key player for Arsenal in the coming years? I don't know until he shows it through either going on loan or getting an opportunity. What I do think is that we should look to make profit on him regardless. He was brought in for pennies. Can we make a 20 million on him if he's not going to progress to the first team? I do think we shouldn't make a decision on him on a permanent basis this summer, really. He should be one we look to develop. He could be a shrewd addition. Remember Alex, was at PSV, with Chelsea for a couple of years. He came in and bossed it for Chelsea. I'm not saying it's the same, but maybe Mavropanos could do that. Or if not, we sell him and we keep it moving, sort of thing. Rems has said, favourite goal or match that you've watched live? There's a lot I could say. I would say, in terms of goals, for the context, I'd say Santi Cazorla's free kick against Hull, or I'd say Alexis Sanchez's goal in the cup final against Aston Villa, and also Theo Walcott's goal in that. That was quite a decent one. So I'd say them. Yeah, I'd say them. I'd say that. King has said, being that you've watched Maitland-Niles since youth, how do you feel he could develop in the box-to-box role? I think it's down to him. I think the main thing he would need to improve his consistency of pass, and the main gift and curse that you see in Maitland-Niles' play is the lack of urgency. That's going to cost him. You've seen it happen against Brentford. You've seen it a couple of times. So I do think he should keep many of the elements of being lax on the ball and relaxed, but marry it with a bit more urgency. So I'd say that, and he'd probably have to improve his building from the back. And I do think he's a decent passer, really and truly. Juban Lana said, in your opinion, if Arteta adopts a 4-3-3 system similar to City, who would be your 3 in midfield and 3 in attack using current and or new players for next season. I can't use new players for next season because I don't know who we have. But if you're asking me based on what we have right now, I want to move from the 10 position. I would love to move from the 10 position. So it'd be Xhaka, Torreira, and I'm not too sure. You know, you need a box-to-box midfielder. I mean, what I mean by that is a current day sort of playmaker, because there'd be a lack of issues. But current additions, I'd probably go Torreira, Xhaka, Mesut Ozil, to be fair. But I see this a bias thing. Front three. Aubameyang, Martinelli, Pepe would be it for me. Or slash Saka, Martinelli slash Saka, be it for me. Morris said, what do you think about the Thiago Silva link to Arsenal? It's bound to happen. I mean, you know, his compatriot and fellow countryman and international teammate, our former club teammate David Luiz is here. Obviously, because of his age, you could see why we'd go for him a short-term fix. He would allow our young players to develop and things, and he wouldn't be expensive because he'd be a free transfer, at least in terms of wage fees. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Right, each one teach one. Good question. Yo, DG, hope you and your people are doing well. I asked this question on YouTube a few weeks, but anyways, apologies. What impact do you think meeting your fans has had on your personal / professional life, and how at all has it changed you? Keep doing your thing, young king. I mean, I can't put into words what that means, man. Lovely words from yourself. I don't think it's changed me, because at the end of the day, I'm just sitting in front of a camera in my room making YouTube videos. I'm not, you know, no celeb or nothing. Like, you can't think you're big time. So I don't think it's necessarily changed me. I'd say it's gassed me, because I can't put into words, man. Like, do you know how many times I've heard, are you deluded? Or you're deluded, innit? Like, on the train, in the shop, walking down my street, like 4th Street, Central, the amount of men, women, men of different ages, different nationalities. Like, I'm walking past shops, so I'm going in shops and they're saying, yo, deluded, blah blah blah. It warms my heart to know that people are watching my thing. It gasses me, because I'm like, right, like, I can't give up now. Even if it don't get nowhere, to know that that one man or woman out there gets some sort of joy or is looking forward to my thing or what I have to say, it gasses me. It's always nice for these things. Like, anyone, I've met hundreds of you now. I'd go as far as that. Let's not say hundreds. Let's say about 100. 80 to 100 I've met now, and none of you can say that I haven't given my time to speak with you lot, and I probably just keep you lot from me doing your jobs, because I love to speak about football. In my professional life, it's a weird one, because at my role or previous role, it's a beaky one, because I actually kept it a real big secret that I did YouTube, and it kind of came out, obviously, with being on True Geordie's thing. Actually, because I work in production, you get a lot of clients. I'm sitting at my desk one day, and a client's like, are you deluded? Do you know how many times, like, a delivery man's come and said, are you deluded, in front of my managers and things like that? Personally, I feel the managers don't take my thing seriously, or see how serious I am in this production thing, and that might come back to bite them. But yeah, it gasses me. And now it's a thing where at work they're like, oh, people deluded. Like, I hear that all the time, innit? And they kind of gas me to go and make vids. So it's a bit of a weird one. I wouldn't say it's changed. I'd say it's just made me go harder to know people out there watching it. It's Carnival as well. Carnival was a mazza. Like, I'm going Carnival to obviously wine with gal and, you know, drink Ray and Neff and enjoy the vibes. But I'm getting stopped every second. Are you deluded? Let me get a picture, blah blah. The picture thing is what shocked me. The picture thing, I was like, right, you want, man, not even just at Carnival, but in general, like, even around the ground at AFTV, I'm like, right, like, you want a picture of man, like, you sure you don't want to ask troops and then go and do them things there, or try and find you one of them former Arsenal players? What do you want a picture of me? I'm just a fan who just makes Arsenal videos and other videos and stuff. So I'd say it gasses me, man. It's gassed me to go hard. It's made me believe in myself, especially at times of adversity. It's made me think, you know what, man, I can't give up. Because there's my man from here, or my man in this country, that is waiting for that notification bell to go off. So, you know, that's what, and I think that's what everybody should have. You know, we always judge it on, you know, what we don't have. We should look at what we do have. So I'd say that's that. Finally, Esco has said, if you were the director of football at Arsenal, what would you do? First and foremost, we're trying to get a resolution on Aubameyang's contract. Second of all, I'm going to sign Szoboszlai from Salzburg. I'm trying to bring in a centre-half. I'm actually trying to bring in Jude Bellingham as well. It's a priority to move players off as well. So with all due respect, Mustafi, Mkhitaryan, El Nene, all of these players that, you know, whether it's big wages and a year left or inconsistencies, we've got. Listen, we can't sell 8 players, but we definitely need to make some progress with outgoings. So I'd say outgoings would probably be outgoings and a contract renewal of Bukayo Saka and Aubameyang would be priorities. Then going for Szoboszlai, Jude Bellingham, and the centre half would be it as well. And I think that brings an end to a fantastic Q&A, people. There's been some fantastic questions. I really like the question from each one. It kind of threw me off, and it's motivated me to go harder. So like I said, thank you very much. In fact, like I said, thank you very much for your questions, people. But I've just remembered I came across a question asked last week in the communities tab. Let me go back. In the Q&A. Right, but I didn't even get 1,000 views on the last Q&A. You lot did not rate, man. Shit, damn. Oh, where is it, man? No one can say I don't try to get everybody's question. It was by Smile Please. I think he deleted it, my guy. I think he deleted it. I think Smile Please deleted it. I tried, but I can't find the question, my dude. All I will say is, like I said, thank you very much for the Q&A questions. Thank you very much for your consistent support and your motivation. Thank you very much for your PayPal donations. Thank you very much for voting for me for the Football Content Awards. And like I said at the beginning, on that note, please keep voting, people. We're near the 15th of June. The voting is soon locked off. It takes 30 seconds for a quick little vote. Follow the link. You can vote on Instagram, Twitter, the main website. You can vote as many times or as little times until your heart's content. Thank you in advance for that. Make sure you get in the comments with questions for next week's Q&A. Make sure you're paying attention for the communities tab where I ask you for your questions. On that note, though, there's nothing more to say. I'm going to get out of here. DG.